You're right. I appreciate that. Alright, we got the thing. We did the thing. Now YouTube can come hang out too. Like, it's not that we don't. I mean, we don't love. Not that we don't love our the subscribers that we have on YouTube. It's that YouTube does not love us back. So, uh, it's different. I feel like I was just here yesterday, and I was talking with another friend of mine, and was talking about like read the Bible. I was like, I have been. It's like, have you though? And it's like I could be deeper. And I've been kind of like toying around with the idea of doing 5 days a week. I might have to mix up the times because there are some people that can't get in. You know what I mean? I got a notification under 10 minutes. The algorithm bot is broken. See, this is why I had to kill the opening song so I could actually like get a notification out there and not have my streams just straight restricted because there's an algo bot that mutes the very beginning of the whole show. So if you ever happen to be one of my YouTube people, want to know what song we opened with, you're gonna have to Rumble exclusive that for now till they get their own algo bot, and then it'll be a wrap for that. Anywho, we are on and into Exodus, getting quite a ways quickly as well. Also getting to some of the tougher parts to actually read. There's a lot of different regulations in here and whatnot. I am fairly certain that they're important because they wouldn't be in here, especially repeated so many times, like between the book and names and the who begats who, and that's I know why that's important because he can trace Jesus back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that's super important. But sometimes you just gotta you gotta get through the parts that aren't as much fun to get to the real fun story. So I think when we left off, we were looking at chapter 35, which has a subtitle here that says instructions for the Sabbath, and a sub-subtitle that says constructing the tabernacle. So we're building that. Did we go through this already? We might be on 36. I might have done it again. Yep. Absolutely did. So, looks like I'm one chapter off where I'll be starting at 36. We've already met Bezalel and Oholiab. Yeah, that's I'm not gonna be monetized or anything. I just don't want to be algorithmically suppressed. Like, who knows? I got first time in like 5 months. Picked up a new subscriber some point last week. No idea who, but Felt good to look at that number and not see it going 193, 192, 191. I was like, oh, 194, trending in the right direction. But anyway, we made it through the first 5 minutes. Yeah, I did finish 35 last night. I'm looking at it now and it's like, wait, nope, we had all of that. So without further ado, 36. The Lord had gifted Bezalel, Oholiab, and the other skilled craftsmen with wisdom and ability to perform any task involved in building the sanctuary. Let them construct and furnish the tabernacle just as the Lord has commanded. It's a really important job. So Moses summoned Bezalel and Aholiab and all the others who were specially gifted by the Lord and were eager to get to work. Moses gave them the materials donated by the people of Israel as sacred offerings for the completion of the sanctuary. But the people continued to bring additional gifts each morning. Ah, that's beautiful. Hello, Swabab. Scrub's a funny guy. Oh, and then ah, that's beautiful. I didn't post this. Okay, now I don't have to go on stupid media. Finally, the craftsmen who were working on the sanctuary left their work. They went to Moses and reported, "The people have given more than enough materials to complete the job the Lord has commanded us to do." So Moses gave the command, and this message was sent throughout the camp: "Men and women, don't prepare any more gifts for the sanctuary. We have enough." So the people stopped bringing their sacred offerings. Their contributions were more than enough to complete the whole project. The skilled craftsmen made 10 curtains of finely woven linen for the tabernacle. Then Bezalel decorated the curtains with blue, purple. Can you guess the last color, guys? Yeah, it's scarlet thread, and with skillfully embroidered cherubim. All 10 curtains were exactly the same size, 42 feet long, so ridiculous on the length, and 6 feet wide, less so on the width. 5 of these curtains were joined together to make one long curtain, and the other 5 were joined together to make a second long curtain. He made 50 loops of blue yarn and put them along the edge of the last curtain in each set, like a fringe. The 50 loops along the edge of one curtain matched the 50 loops along the edge of the other curtain. Then he made 50 gold clasps and fastened the long curtains together with the clasps In this way, the tabernacle was made of one continuous piece. So beautiful, too. It's not red. It's not red, gold, and green. It's really blue, purple, and scarlet. It's the thing. He made 11 curtains of goat hair cloth to serve as a tent covering for the tabernacle. So that's basically the roof again. These 11 curtains were all exactly the same size, 45 feet by 6 feet. Bezalel joined 5 of these curtains together to make one long curtain, and the other 6 were joined to make a second. He made 50 loops for each large curtain. He also made 50 bronze clasps to fasten the long curtains together. In this way, the tent covering was made of one continuous piece. He completed the tent covering with a layer of tanned ram skins and a layer of fine goat skin leather. Shit. For the framework of the tabernacle, Bezalel constructed frames of acacia wood. Each frame was 15 feet high and 27 inches wide. You can stand up in there. With 2 pegs under each frame, all the frames were identical. He made 20 of these frames to support the curtains on the south side of the tabernacle. He also made 40 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame, with the pegs fitting securely into the bases for the north side of the tabernacle. He made another 20 frames with their 40 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame. He made 6 frames for the rear, the west side of the tabernacle, along with 2 additional frames to reinforce the rear corners of the tabernacle. Smart engineering here. These corner frames were matched at the bottom and firmly attached at the top, with a single ring forming a single corner unit. There's your fail point. Both of these corner units were made the same way, so there were 8 frames at the rear of the tabernacle set in 16 silver base. Okay, never mind. Never mind what I said about a fail point. This is uh, wholly engineered. Then he made crossbars of acacia wood to link the frames. 5 crossbars for the north side of the tabernacle and 5 for the south side. He also made 5 crossbars for the rear of the tabernacle, which faced west. He made the middle crossbar to attach halfway up the frames. It ran all the way from one end of the tabernacle to the other. He overlaid the frames with gold and made gold rings to hold the crossbars. Then he overlaid the crossbars with gold as well. For the inside of the tabernacle, Bezalel made a special curtain of finely woven linen. He decorated it with with God's colors and with skillfully embroidered cherubim. For the curtain, he made 4 posts of acacia wood and 4 gold hooks. This is different. He overlaid the posts with gold and set them in 4 silver bases. Then he made another curtain for the entrance to the sacred tent. He made it out of finely woven linen and embroidered it with exquisite designs. He used blue, purple, and scarlet thread. This curtain was hung on the gold hooks attached to 5 posts. The posts, with their decorated tops and hooks, were overlaid with gold, and the 5 bases cast from bronze. It's very, very shiny in there. No, not a chameleon. Very specific colorway all the way around. I gotta be careful because I might miss a color shift at some point. Chapter 37. Next, Bezalel made the Ark of acacia wood, a sacred chest 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, 27 inches high. Maybe approximately that, though. Like, you could carry it. Except for what he's gonna put inside it. He overlaid it inside and outside with pure gold. It just got really heavy. And ran a molding of gold all around it. He cast 4 gold rings and attached them to its 4 feet, 2 rings on each side. Then he made poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He inserted the poles into the rings at the sides of the ark to carry it. Then he made the ark's cover, the place of atonement, from pure gold. It was 45 inches long and 27 inches wide. He made 2 cherubim from hammered gold and placed them on the 2 ends of the atonement cover. That's a lot of gold. He molded the cherubim on each end of the atonement cover, making it all of one piece of gold. So he basically just like melted it right into the gold at the top itself. The cherubim faced each other and looked down on the atonement cover. With their wings spread above it, they protected it. Then Bezalel made the table of acacia wood, 36 inches long, 18 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He overlaid it with pure gold and ran a gold molding around the edge. He decorated it with a 3-inch border all around, and he ran a gold molding along the border. Then he cast 4 gold rings for the table and attached them at the 4 corners next to the 4 legs. The rings were attached near the border to hold the poles that were used to carry the table. He made these poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made special containers of pure gold for the table, bowls, ladles, jars, and pitchers to be used in pouring out liquid offerings. So, all solid gold, everything. Then Bezalel made the lampstand of pure hammered gold because, yep. He made the entire lampstand and its decorations of one piece: the base, center stem, lamp cups, buds, and petals. The lampstand had 6 branches going out from the center stem, 3 on each side. Each of the 6 branches had 3 lamp cups shaped like almond blossoms, complete with buds and petals. Wild. The center stem of the lampstand was crafted with 4 lamp cups shaped like almond blossoms, complete with buds and petals. There was an almond bud beneath each pair of branches where the 6 branches extended from the center stem, all made of one piece of solid gold. The almond buds and branches were all of one piece with the center stem, and they were hammered from pure gold. The inside of the tabernacle is a really shiny place. He also made 7 lamps for the lampstand, lamp snuffers, and trays, all of pure gold. The entire lampstand, along with its accessories, weighed about 75 pounds. Then Bezalel made the incense altar of acacia wood. It was 18 inches square and 36 inches high, with horns at the corners carved from the same piece of wood as the altar itself. He overlaid the top, sides, and horns of the altar with pure gold, and he ran a gold molding around the entire altar. He made 2 gold rings and attached them on the opposite sides of the altar below the gold molding to hold the carry poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold because they're matched with everything else. Then he made the sacred anointing oil and the fragrant incense using the techniques of a skilled incense maker, and also it's been forbidden for anybody to make this stuff for their own use, so they're never, ever, ever gonna give you this recipe. It's just, you're not gonna get it. It's God's recipe. It exists, but you can't have it. And that's fine, because we have other incense. Next, Bezalel used acacia wood to construct the square altar of burnt offering. The altar of burnt offering is going to be made out of wood. It was 7 feet wide, 7.5. I can't read. 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet long, and 4.5 feet high. So square table, 7.5 by 7.5. He made horns for each of the 4 corners so that the horns and altar were all one piece. He overlaid the altar with bronze. See, this is why I have to pay attention, because I would have just assumed that this is gold, because everything is gold. Then he made all the altar utensils of bronze. The ash buckets, shovels, basins, meat forks, and fire pans. Next, he made a bronze grating and installed it halfway down the side of the altar under the ledge. He cast 4 rings and attached them to the corners of the bronze grating to hold the carrying poles. Okay, so this is like a grill top. He made the poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He inserted the poles through the rings on the sides of the altar. The altar was hollow and was made from planks. Yes, planks actually covered in bronze so that they don't. You ain't gonna burn them up when you do your burnt offerings. They'll be straight. This is very disturbing. I think I just noticed this. Bezalel made the bronze wash basin and its bronze stand from bronze mirrors donated by the women who served at the entrance of the tabernacle. Mm. Then, whatever happened to Oholiab? He's supposed to be making stuff too. It's Bezalel's getting all the credit here, and Oholiab was, hey, that's not the colors, but it is. It's different colors. Which was enclosed with curtains of finely woven linen. On the south side, the curtains were 150 feet long. They were held up by 20 posts set securely in 20 bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. He made a similar set of curtains for the north side, 150 feet. Curtains on the west courtyard were 75 feet at the back, hung with silver hooks and rings and supported by 10 posts and set into 10 bases. The east end was also 75 feet long. The courtyard entrance was on the east end, flanked by two curtains. The curtains on the right side, curtain on the right side was 22.5 feet long and supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. The curtain on the left side was also 22.5 feet, so you got your little splitter curtains, and then you're going to have your big main curtain in the middle, supported by 3 bases. All the curtains used in the courtyard were made of finely woven linen. Each post had a bronze base, and all the hooks and rings were silver. The top of the posts and the courtyard were overlaid with silver, and the rings to hold up the curtains were made of silver as well, so you're getting the image I'm getting here. He made the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard of finely woven linen, and he decorated it with beautiful embroidery in blue, purple, and scarlet. That's the whole color scheme. It was 30 feet long, and its height was 7.5 feet. Just like the curtains of the courtyard walls, it was supported by 4 posts, each set securely in its own bronze base. So this is the main entry here. The tops of the posts were overlaid with silver, and the hooks and rings were also made of silver. All the tent pegs used in the tabernacle and courtyard were made of bronze. This is an inventory of materials used in building the tabernacle of the covenant. The Levites compiled the figures as Moses directed, and Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest, served as recorder. Bezalel, son of Uri, grandson of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He was assisted by Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman expert at engraving, designing, and embroidering with blue, purple, and scarlet thread on fine linen cloth, specifically. The people brought special offerings of gold, totaling, and hold on to your hat here, because this is 150 foot by 75 foot tent, 2,193 pounds of gold. As measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel, this gold was used throughout the tabernacle. There was a lot of stuff that was listed that was gold. 2,193 pounds. The whole community of Israel gave 7,545 pounds of silver as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. This silver came from the tax collected from each man registered in the census. The tax is 1 bekah, which is half a shekel, based on the sanctuary shekel. This tax was collected from 603,505 men who had reached their 20th birthday. The 100 bases for the frames of the sanctuary walls and for the posts supporting the inner curtain required 7,500 pounds of silver, about 75 pounds for each base. The remaining 45 pounds of silver was used to make the hooks and rings and to overlay the tops of the posts. Wow. The people also brought as a special offering 5,310 pounds of bronze. I'm pretty sure the whole tent's out there somewhere, Squall. The whole freaking tabernacle's just chilling. Someone's got it in a barn. I'm joking. Which was used for casting the bases of the posts at the entrance to the tabernacle and for the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all the altar utensils. Bronze was also used to make the bases for the posts that supported the curtains around the courtyard, the bases for the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard, and all the tent pegs for the tabernacle and courtyard. I used to think that gold could not be destroyed. And then I found out what happens if you put gold and mercury together. And gold can, in fact, be completely destroyed. All you need to do is dip it in a little bit of mercury, and it's fucked. It's shot completely. 39. The craftsmen made beautiful sacred garments of blue, purple, and scarlet cloth, clothing for Aaron to wear while ministering in the holy place, just as the Lord has commanded Moses. Oh, that's gross, and I don't want to think about it. It's gross, and I don't want to think about that. Bezalel. Wow. That was an aggressive yawn. Made the ephod of finely woven linen and embroidered it with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. He made gold thread by hammering out thin sheets of gold and cutting it into fine strands. With great skill and care, he worked it into the fine linen with the blue, purple, and scarlet thread. The ephod consisted of 2 pieces, front and back, joined at the shoulders with 2 shoulder pieces. The decorative sash was made of the same materials, finely woven linen embroidered with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. Just as the Lord had commanded Moses, they mounted the 2 onyx stones in settings of gold filigree. The stones were engraved with the names of the tribes of Israel, just as a seal is engraved. He fastened these stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as a reminder that the priest represents the people of Israel. All this was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Bezalel made the chest piece with great skill and care. He made it to match the ephod using finely woven linen embroidered with gold, blue, purple, and scarlet thread because we needed a change of pace here. He made the chest piece of a single piece of cloth folded to form a pouch 9 times. Oh, 9 inches. My folded to form a pouch 9 inches square. I don't know where that came from. They mounted 4 rows of gemstones on it. So it's a... Oh yeah, I remember these. We've been over this. The first row contained a red carnelian, a pale green peridot, an emerald. The second row contained a turquoise, a blue lapis lazuli, and a white moonstone. The third row contained an orange jacinth, an agate, and a purple amethyst. And the fourth row contained a blue-green beryl, an onyx, and a green jasper. Again, 12. All these stones were set in gold filigree. Each stone represents one of the 12 sons of Israel, and the name of that tribe was engraved on it like a seal. So you had 12 stones on the onyxes on the shoulder pieces, with 6 on each side, and then I've got each one individually on the chest. To attach the chest piece to the ephod, they made braided cords of pure gold thread. They also made 2 settings of gold filigree and 2 gold rings and attached them to the top corners of the chest piece. They tied the 2 gold cords to the rings on the chest piece. They tied the other ends of the cords to the gold settings on the shoulder pieces of the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the inside edges of the chest piece next to the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the front of the ephod below the shoulder pieces, just above the knot where the decorative sash was fastened to the ephod. They attached the bottom rings of the chest piece to the rings on the ephod with blue cords. In this way, the chest piece was held securely to the ephod above the decorative sash. All this was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Bezalel made the robe that is worn with the ephod from a single piece of blue woven cloth, with an opening for Aaron's head in the middle of it. The opening was reinforced with a woven collar so it would not tear. They made pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and attached them to the hem of the robe. They also made bells of pure gold and placed them between the pomegranates along the hem of the robe. With bells and pomegranates alternating all around the hem, this robe was to be worn whenever the priest ministered before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made tunics for Aaron and his sons from fine linen cloth. The turban and the special head coverings were made of fine linen, and the undergarments were also made of finely woven linen. The sashes were made of finely woven linen and embroidered with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Finally, they made the sacred medallion the badge of holiness of pure gold, because nothing else would really have ever done. They engraved it like a seal with these words, "Holy to the Lord." They attached the medallion with a blue cord to Aaron's turban, so it's a medallion up here, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. And so at last, the tabernacle was finished. The Israelites had done everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses, and they brought the entire tabernacle to Moses. The sacred tent with all its furnishings, clasps, frames, crossbars, posts, and bases, the tent covering of tanned ram skins and fine goatskin leather, the inner curtain to shield the Ark of the Covenant and its carrying poles, the Ark's cover, the place of atonement, the table and all its utensils, the bread of the presence, the pure gold lampstand with all its symmetrical lamp cups, all its accessories, and the olive oil for lighting, the gold altar, the anointing oil and fragrant incense, the curtain for the entrance of the sacred tent, the bronze altar, the bronze grating and its carrying poles and utensils, wash basin with its stand, the curtain for the walls of the courtyard, the posts and their bases, the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard, the ropes and tent pegs, all the furnishings to be used in worship at the tabernacle, the beautifully stitched garments for the priest to wear when ministering in the holy place, the sacred garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments for his sons to wear as they minister as priests. So, the people of Israel followed all of the Lord's instructions to Moses. Then Moses inspected all their work. When he found it had been done just as the Lord had commanded him, he blessed them. Looks like we're going to have a short Wednesday stream too, because I didn't look ahead behind. And Squab's probably going to know that chapter 40 is the last chapter of Exodus. I didn't know that. I mean, I could have looked at that, but so I guess we will do like a half stream, finish out Exodus today, come back for Leviticus introduction tomorrow. I don't hate that idea. I wanted to do this every day. I hadn't committed to doing 2 hours a day every day. So, yeah. Shorter one for a Tuesday. Chapter 40. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Set up the tabernacle on the first day of the new year. Place the Ark of the Covenant inside, and install the inner curtain to enclose the Ark within the most holy place. Then Bring in the table and arrange the utensils on it, and bring in the lampstand and set up the lamps. Why didn't you bring in the lampstand first? It's dark in here. Place the gold incense altar in front of the Ark of the Covenant, then hang the curtain at the entrance of the tabernacle. Place the altar of burnt offering in front of the tabernacle entrance. Set the wash basin between the tabernacle and the altar, and fill it with water. Then set up the courtyard around the outside of the tent, and hang the curtain for the courtyard entrance. Take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and all its furnishings to consecrate them and make them holy. Anoint the altar of burnt offering and its utensils to consecrate them. Then the altar will become absolutely holy. Next, anoint the wash basin and its stand to consecrate them. Present Aaron and his sons at the entrance of the tabernacle and wash them with water. Dress Aaron with the sacred garments and anoint him, consecrating him to serve me as a priest. Then present his sons and dress them in their tunics. Anoint them as you did their father, so they may also serve me as priests. With their anointing, Aaron's descendants are set apart for the priesthood forever, from generation to generation. Moses proceeded to do everything just as the Lord had commanded him. So the tabernacle was set up on the first day of the first month of the second year. Moses erected the tabernacle by setting down its bases, inserting the frames, attaching the crossbars, and setting up the posts. Then he spread the coverings over the tabernacle framework and put on the protective layers, just as the Lord had commanded him. He took the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant and placed them inside the ark. Then he attached the carrying poles to the ark, and he set the ark's cover, the place of atonement, on top of it. Then he brought the ark of the covenant into the tabernacle and hung the inner curtain to shield it from view, just as the Lord had commanded him. Next, Moses placed the table in the tabernacle along the north side of the holy place, just outside the inner curtain, and he arranged the bread of the presence on the table before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded him. He set the lampstand in the tabernacle across from the table on the south side of the holy place. Then he lit the lamps in the Lord's presence, just as the Lord had commanded him. He also placed the gold incense altar in the tabernacle, in the holy place, in front of the inner curtain. On it he burned the fragrant incense, just as the Lord had commanded him. He hung the curtain at the entrance of the tabernacle, and he placed the altar of burnt offering near the tabernacle entrance. On it he offered a burnt offering and a grain offering, just as the Lord had commanded him. Next, Moses placed the wash basin between the tabernacle and the altar. He filled it with water so the priests could wash themselves, and Moses and Aaron's sons used water from it to wash their hands and feet whenever they approached the altar and entered the tabernacle. they washed themselves, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Then he hung the curtains forming the courtyard around the tabernacle and the altar, and he set up the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard. So at last, Moses had finished the work. Then the cloud covered the tabernacle, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses could no longer enter the tabernacle because the cloud had settled down over it, and the glory of the Lord had filled the tabernacle. Now, whenever the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, the people of Israel would set out on their journey, following it. But if the cloud did not rise, they remained where they were until it lifted. The cloud of the Lord hovered over the tabernacle during the day, and at night fire glowed inside, so the whole family of Israel could see it. This continued throughout all their journeys, so the presence of the Lord has joined them. That's the absolute most beautiful way to put an end to Exodus. Just under an hour or two. I couldn't have wrote that up any better. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people that are probably disappointed that they usually come in around they usually come in around the hour mark, and they also usually come in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday too, so this is a nice little surprise pop-up for the people who did manage to stop by. You wrong, Cat Ninja, Squab Bob, Mousy, and my lurkers. Love you lurkers too. But yeah, guess we're gonna cut you loose early tonight, and I'll see you back here after I've made up a thumbnail to start Leviticus tomorrow. Exodus went by way fast. Super fast. Guess I should have looked to see how many books we had left before I scheduled anything. Thank you all for blessing me enough to give me your attention to share this. I hope this really means something to someone like it does to me. Love you guys. Everybody stay safe. Like I said, pray for those Jamaican folks. They's got bad news bears. If anyone else has any specific prayers they'd like offered, I don't know. Put in the comments. Just be careful to guard your fears. Love you guys, and I will see you back here tomorrow. For the YouTube side of